So here we're going to work on solving systems of equations using the graphing calculator. To use the graphing calculator, graphing equations, all equations need to be in slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. So to take 4y minus x minus 28 and put into slope-intercept form, we're going to divide everything by 4. So we're going to write this as y equals negative 1/4 x minus 7, and then 20 equals 13x plus 4y. I'll subtract 13x from both sides. Will give us negative 13x plus 20y equals 4y. We'll divide everything by 4, which will give us negative 13/4 x plus 5 equals y. So y equals negative 13/4 x plus 5. Okay. So now we're going to take these equations, we're going to put them into our graphing calculator. So we're going to go to y equals negative 1/4 x minus 7. One way we can put in a fraction, if you have this option available on your version of the calculator, so we're going to push alpha and then our variable button to get the structure of the calculator, the structure of the fraction. So we're going to put negative 1, make sure we're using the negative button, not the minus button. 1, we're going to go down to 4, and then it's important I arrow out of the fraction so the cursor's in line with the fraction bar to use our variable, and it's going to be minus 7. Okay. Now we're going to put in our second equation. Y equals negative 13/4 x plus 5. Another way you can do the fraction is parenthesis, negative 13 divided by 4, close the parenthesis, put our variable, plus 5. We're always going to graph using our standard window, so we're going to push zoom 6 for our standard window, which gives us our 2 lines graph. Now we're going to be looking for that point of intersection. To calculate the point of intersection, we're going to use the calc feature, which is in blue above trace. So we're going to push second trace. Now we're looking for the point of intersection of 2 lines. So I'm going to use intersect, so I can just push the number 5. Now the calculator is going to ask us a few questions. First curve, I'm going to say, yeah, that's my first line, so I push enter to say yes. It's flashing now on my second line. Yes, that's my second curve. I push enter to say yes. And now it makes me do a little guess, so I just push enter. So I did second, calc, 5 for intersect, and I pushed enter 3 times, and we have our point of intersection, which is the ordered pair 4, negative 8, which is our answer. The last thing we need to do is we need to support our work by sketching the window. So sketching a window, we're just going to draw what we see on our calculator window. So we're going to make our y-axis, our x-axis, and put the dimensions of our window. The standard window, zoom 6, is always negative 10 by 10, negative 10 by 10. Okay, so I'm going to label my window with that. Negative 10 to positive 10 in our x's, negative 10 to positive 10 in our y's, and then I'm just going to sketch what I see on the window. So I see a line going like this, and I see a line going like this. I'm going to label the point of intersection we had, which was 4, negative 8, and then we're going to label with the equations. This has a positive y-intercept, so I know that's got to be y equals negative 13/4 x plus 5. This has a negative y-intercept, that has to be y equals negative 1/4 x minus 7. Next example, first equation is in slope-intercept form. The next one we need to put in slope-intercept form, so we're going to divide both sides by 13. So y equals 6/13 x minus 14. So we're going to go back to our calculator and input these new equations. Okay, so I'm going to go back to y equals, clear everything else out, put in our first equation, which is y equals, say we're going to do negative 14 13ths x, and then it was plus 6. So plus 6. Arrow down. Now we're going to put in our second equation. 6/13 x minus 14. If I graph and get a syntax error, you should click go to, and then usually it's something with the negatives and the minus signs. Okay, so like always, we're going to graph, we're going to do zoom 6. So when you push zoom 6, you can see, we see pieces of our lines, but we can't see the point of intersection. So we need to change our window. I know that point of intersection is going to be somewhere in quadrant 4, so I'm going to adjust my window to get there. So for quadrant 4, I'm going to make my x min because I don't need to see very far left. I'm just going to make it -2. So I've got -2. My x max, I want to see farther right. I'm going to make it 20. I'm not going to adjust the x scale. Y min, I want to see lower in quadrant 4, so I'm going to make it -20. The y max, I don't need to see higher. I just want to see just a little bit above the x axis, so I'm just going to make it 2. And again, we're not going to adjust the y scale. From here, we're just going to push graph. So it gives me my new window. Now I can see that point of intersection. So now we can do, again, second trace to get to calculate. 5 for intersect, enter, enter, enter. There's our point of intersection. 13, -8, that's our answer. And we've got to make our sketch of our window again, which is going to look different this time because our window is different. This time, our y, we're going from -20 to +2, and our x's from -2 to +20. And again, we're just going to sketch the pictures we see. I see a line going this way, and then I see a line going this way. We've got our point of intersection, 13, -8. And we're going to label with the 2 equations. And that's all we need to do.